Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Hi, Noel.
Hey, Jacob. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Every time I hear that flute, I just want to go dancing. Or is it clarinet? Is it what is it? Is it?
It's a clarinet.
Clarinet.
It's a real clarinet. I hired a clarinetist, and I
Is it a clarinetist?
clarinetist.
Wait, that's something else.
Yeah, no, he was a nudist,
Yeah.
and he played the clarinet. By the way,
He was incredible.
if that business model does not already exist, I would like to inspire somebody out there who is a struggling clarinet player
Or a struggling nudist.
or a struggling nudist and pick up one of the other hobbies.
If one of them could pick up the other,
Yeah.
it would really, I think,
But for the struggling nudist, they've got to learn clarinet. But
Harder.
Yes.
harder.
But if the struggling clarinetist likes to just, has to break through being, shy, and that's all they got to do.
I feel like we just made a reality show, right? A
Clarinetist
clarinetist?
on Bravo. Clarinetist. Well, I'll tell you what, when we sit down to record sometimes, I have no idea where we're going to go, and
Yeah.
I love in the first 20 seconds, we went someplace that I couldn't have imagined,
No.
and now I'm all the better for knowing it.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's all the better for knowing about clarinetist.com.
Clarinetist. Hashtag Clarinetist. Today we're going to talk about a big event that happened over the weekend. Oh, well, first we should
Yeah.
introduce ourselves.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
My name is Noel Carroll, and I'm one of your co-hosts.
I'm Jacob Givens. I'm the other co-host.
Yeah, we're totally the co-hosts.
Individually, we're hosts, but
just
together
hosts.
we're co-hosts.
We're co-hosts. That's a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're talking today.
Welcome to the Biofriendly Podcast.
Yes.
It's the Biofriendly.
I love it too. We are talking about a big event that happened over the weekend on Saturday, March 30th.
Yeah.
It was Earth Hour.
Unreal. So cool.
Cool.
Such a cool thing. Such a cool concept.
I know. This was really the first time I had heard of it this year. Had you heard of it before?
Yeah. Because Tara, who runs the Biofriendly, she's the editor for Biofriendly Planet magazine.
Yeah.
She's been all over this for a while, and she's an old friend. So she would tweet about this thing from her Biofriendly blog. We got to get Tara on the show.
We do.
Because she's kind of a big deal in the
She
environmental
clearly knows more than I
community.
do. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, we got to get her on the show because she could teach us a couple things, and you as well.
She could
audience member.
teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, but she got onto this at the beginning, and she's been tweeting about Earth Hour for years. I mean,
That's
she's,
awesome.
Yeah, she's all over it, and has participated.
Right.
In Earth, as we did, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
We absolutely, we're going to get to that. I see, for me, it's not that, and I, like most people probably on social media, saw things. You see,
I've seen things, man.
I've seen some stuff, man. So you see posts go by or events go by. Today's, Arbor Day, today's Earth Day, whatever. And they kind of, it's hard to stop and take notice of every single thing that comes by. And you don't always realize that something big is happening in the world.
Right.
And it hasn't been until I've become a part of this podcast and part of the Biofriendly team that I was really opened my eyes to things that I'm paying attention to now. And I'm like, why wasn't I paying attention to this more?
Right, totally.
You know what I mean? Like, why wasn't I?
Well,
this
yeah,
is
'cause
cool.
It is so easy to ignore. And there's enough events that you're like, oh man, there's God, those greenies are doing something else, man.
Right?
Jeez, would you stop marching?
I get it. I can't.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
I can't go in and out of
Fine.
this Trader Joe's without a clipboard and a whale to save. It's one of those things that, in a comical way, it does seem annoying. Because you're kind of like, I don't know, I can't do anything, and that's the thing.
Right. It's become so overwhelming because it's like there's so much.
Yes.
And yet, if you don't actually pay attention to what each specifically means and what that little thing represents, you don't probably understand why. In actuality, each of them are all pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of why we're here, is to
absolutely
sort of try to break it down a bit for people. Yeah.
I'm hoping that people who listen to this show walk away and, like me and like you, are learning that it's not this thing that you have to shift your entire identity. You don't have to go out and buy hemp clothes and like completely reinvent your life. There's these little moments, and so far all of them have been rewarding, and especially what happened over the weekend was really special and meaningful.
Well, that's the thing, is each one of these is actually kind of a holiday. And that's the thing, you don't quite get when you feel like someone's harping you to take away your plastic bags from the grocery store or whatever else that they're at, right? So is that each of these things in actuality is just, it's kind of an excuse to get together with people you love. And to sort of find a new way to just take notice of what we're doing, and maybe find a way to do it differently. And so they're kind of, and you're right. I mean, this weekend was an awesome example and something we can involve our families with. But before, should we tell
what
for the layman's what they're?
Yes, absolutely. I brought everything here with me so that I can at least explain it. But so. Basically, starting out as a symbolic lights out event in Sydney in 2007. So once again, the Aussies, man.
The Aussies are all over at night.
Yeah. Earth Hour is now the world's largest grassroots movement for the environment, inspiring millions of people to take action for our planet and nature. So from pushing for environmentally friendly laws and policies to crowdfunding for a better future, you make Earth Hour possible.
You make Earth Hour possible.
You person listening right now. And they are coordinated by the WWF.
Wow. I had no idea that Hulk Hogan was involved in this.
I did not know that John Cena comes along and he's part of Earth Hour. No, I love it every time that it says the WWF. The first thing you think of is wrestling.
And that upset them so much. They're like, how could, what? No. World Wildlife Fund. This is ridiculous.
I know. And everybody knows, despite our jokes, WWF, World Wildlife Fund. That's that panda. We see that panda image somewhere. Not Panda Express, but the one that we're not talking about.
But they're getting hosed everywhere.
They're getting hosed, man.
They cannot make a logo or an acronym without someone else just jumping in.
I want to talk to the person who came along and said, guys, we're gonna make a huge difference. First of all, we're called the World Wildlife Fund. We're going to go by the acronym WWF. And then one guy in the back who had face paint on was like, quick objection. There's going to be some confusion regarding this. Oh, really, Terry? Why? Well,
there's a couple. I'm that guy. I'm not into this, but there are people. Who would totally watch this thing called wrestling.
And they might think that we're not trying to save the world, but that we're trying to save wrestlers.
Shut up, Terry. We don't know what you're talking about. Okay, now, so what should we make the logo for our thing?
I was thinking a panda, because there's definitely no other businesses that really utilize
panda.
That's
panda. Perfect.
It's cute,
a panda.
It's endearing.
Adorable.
It's black and white.
It's so easy to. That's ideal.
Another hand sheepishly goes up in the back of the conference room. Real quick.
What?
As I finish off this bowl.
What, Sally?
This bowl of orange chicken that I got today for lunch. There's a logo right here. It says Panda Express. So anyway,
they're like,
let's just roll with it.
You know what? Panda, WWF, people will think of us.
They'll figure it out.
And they do.
They do.
They
do. They're a great organization, and they're really behind Coordinated Earth Hour. They're one of the big peoples involved in this. And so it's been going on since 2007. So now we are in, do math for me. This was
this is 2019.
12th year?
12th, yeah. Well, 7 was the first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Earth Hour was started as a lights-off event. Since then, it has grown to engage more than 180 countries and territories worldwide. This year's Earth Hour was this past Saturday, March 30th, at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. And you might be asking yourself, how do we sync up the time zones?
How do we sync up the time zones, Jacob?
Good question, Noel. It was 8:30 wherever you are in the world. So
you're telling me that for 24 hours, it's actually Earth Hour?
Exactly.
For an entire day?
Yes, they came up with a very clever way that around the planet.
So we just all take turns.
Mm-hmm. We all take turns.
It's like New Year's Eve for the environment.
Exactly. Aww.
Right?
Soup's totes sweet.
Soup's totes sweet.
It's like New Year's.
It's New Year's for the environment.
Planet.
For the planet gets its own New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Between 8:30 and 9:30.
So I am just learning about this, and this is a huge thing. And I think next year we go bigger with this. We do some kind of big event. We did do something though, which was awesome. We took the families up Angeles Crest.
Yeah.
And we went out away from all the light pollution. And
it was my
everything.
birthday.
Yes.
Right? We did like a birthday celebration, and we were just gonna go do the same stupid, dumb things that I usually do for my birthday. Like we go with the family to
birthdays
eat some
are always
food.
so dumb.
So dumb.
Yep.
So dumb. And then I'll go to a park or something lame like that, or just like watch a movie and give me donuts.
Right.
Yeah, but this time, because Earth Hour happened to be that day, we mixed it in.
And we got away from it all.
Yeah.
Went up the mountain, went to a great lookout point, and it was something else. I gotta say, the whole experience was so special.
All right. So tell them what you're supposed to do. Like what the thing is that you do during Earth Hour.
They encourage you that for that hour, that the 8:30 to 9:30, that you turn off all the lights.
Right.
And this is not only on like the individual level, like huge corporations around the world do this. I did digging in like the Staples Center, the Coliseum, the Microsoft Theater, all these LA like huge places participated and totally powered down, and so that was incredible. So it's like on a global scale, you have huge businesses, but as individuals and people who have houses and apartments and wherever you're living, they just encourage you for that hour, turn off all of your lights.
Yeah.
And so that's a cool opportunity. Some of the things they recommend is like you could, do things by candlelight. Yeah. You could go for a stroll and do some stargazing. And that's what inspired us to do this.
Right.
Is we were like, well, we're already out. Let's go stargaze.
The other thing that was neat about the spot where we were, and you could see it a little bit while we were up there, but I'm hoping one day it'll be even better.
Right.
Is you can actually see from that lookout the lights of Los Angeles.
Yes.
So won't it be rad after we've saved the planet with our podcast and everybody's listened, because that's obviously the next thing that happens.
The next step one, start a podcast.
Step two,
save the world.
Save the world.
Right.
So we're still working on step one.
Yeah.
But when step two happens, like next year, obviously it'll happen that quick.
Probably 2020,
because we're moving super fast here. Like we look out over the over the thing, and then suddenly it's 8:30. Boom. The whole city's dark. Wouldn't that be
that would be
incredible?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I will not rest until that happens next year.
Not rest. Until all the lights of Los Angeles are off.
Light. Can you imagine just like you're not up by a high lookout point, but at 8:30 you're running around your neighborhood and you're just like, turn your lights off!
Sound like my dad.
Turn your lights off and don't touch the thermostat!
What do you think? We're trying to light up the planet?
Exactly.
Turn off your lights.
I'd say if we can't get all of LA to go dark by next year, let's at least do that. Let's run around in bathrobes yelling at our neighbors.
What if that was our Earth Hour?
That's our Earth Hour.
Earth Hour from here on out. For most people, Earth Hour is let's turn off the lights, let's turn off the power, let's stargaze, let's be part of nature for an hour, let's be there. But for us, it's no.
We'll turn your lights off.
Bathrobes.
We'll turn your lights off.
No pants.
The guys from the Biofriendly podcast go around every Earth Hour and power off everyone else's homes.
We should power off America. So what we'll do is we'll start at 8:30 in New York and then just keep running. No way. Screw it. We'll start in Australia and then just keep running. Just run for 24 hours.
This is a great idea.
The whole time.
You've had some real duds, but this is the best idea you've ever had. We're gonna fly to Australia, where it all began.
Where it all began.
By the way,
Sydney, Australia is where it all began.
And when it starts, we start running.
Yeah.
In bathrobes.
8:30.
And we chase the time zone.
We chase the time zone, screaming, "Shut off the lights! Get off my lawn!"
We will probably be arrested in hour one, but won't that be a good story?
What if we got arrested in every
city?
And we had to, so we spent the hour
What a
trying
crack
to break
squad
out.
of litigators to get us in and out of jail so quickly.
Every hour.
You guys got arrested, but we already got you out. You're fine.
You're fine. Keep running. Keep running.
God.
Just keep running.
It's so perfect, it just might work.
Just might work. But sorry, no.
Yes, back to
reality.
Back to life. Back to reality. So yes, it was an amazing experience being up there. Also, just I think for the kids too.
Yeah.
Like that was what really stuck with me. Is I was like, not only are we doing something great, But this is a memory for them where they'll be like, remember that time that we randomly drove up the mountain at night and we sat there and we, weren't on our phones and we were all just present and there in the moment and just enjoying that time together. I thought it was a way to come together as friends and family and experience it. And then that's going to, if we do this year after year, this is going to
becomes a thing.
Becomes a thing.
And that's I think that's really, like, to me, that was the biggest lesson of the event was my understanding before was that this is an annoying thing that some person is making me do so that I can help them with their stupid cause.
Right.
Absolutely. Now that I'm in on the cause.
I'm in.
I mean, on the, not that I ever thought it was stupid. I mean, I joke.
I know what you mean.
In all honesty, we've always actually been we cared about the environment.
No,
you just don't think about it.
The audience knows you by now, Noel.
He's just
on the second episode in, they know that you're joking. They're like, "Oh, Noel, that old so and so with his humor and his gags,
always gagging." That came out wrong. No, but the thing that I realized about it was like, for holidays, right? Christmas is special because every Christmas, there's some kind of tradition. You get your presents. You get your, Santa arrives. He gives you your stuff. You get to hang out with your family. You have the Christmas goose.
Yeah.
We all have a Christmas goose, of course.
What are you talking about? What's the Christmas goose?
You don't stand outside of the top of your window with your Scrooge beard and then flick out a shilling and say,
you're doing a
Dickens
Dickens reference.
A Christmas goose.
I need to start.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens after Earth Hour. we get home in our robes and then we ask everybody to purchase
a goose.
Purchase me a Christmas goose.
Christmas goose. The largest goose you could find. But like that, so you get these traditions, right, that happen in any kind of holiday like that, and then it becomes a special thing because you've made it a special thing.
Yeah.
So if you actually can make in that moment the special thing something that's related to, okay, we help the environment. Okay, maybe it was only 1 hour that we shut off the lights.
Yeah.
Right? And we turned off the phones and we shut off all the power and we went dark, right? We did it together.
Exactly.
We talked about the environment. We had a great time out there looking at the stars and walking all those trails that were up there and imagining all the lights being shut off, and wouldn't that be cool? And having all that happen and then spending that moment with the family. And like you said, you do that year after year after year. It becomes something they look forward to. Yeah. And then something they do with their kids. And then something that becomes a thing.
Yeah.
And when it becomes a thing, that's when it actually would happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like when enough people are doing it and it becomes fun and it becomes like a neat, exciting holiday.
Yeah.
That's at that point. That's when you start to see incredible things happen. Entire cities shutting down. Like for that hour, power's off.
Yeah.
And that's going to be awesome. And it's to me the premium example of what we're talking about. You can't turn off lights always.
Right.
You can't stop from creating dirty energy.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah.
Like, because we are what we are. The world is where it is. We're going to use our phones. We're going to use our devices. We need light. Right. We are what we are. That's okay. We evolved to this. This is what we are. But 1 hour, it's representative. It makes a difference for that
It's
time.
uniting.
And and it gets us to just think about it, to just look at it for that one moment.
That's the biggest thing, is I think that this podcast, Earth Hour, all of these things are opening up a dialogue about the climate, the planet, how we can change things. And I think that that conversation is becoming louder and louder and louder. And it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited by it because I think that things that used to seem like, it's fine, it'll work itself out to me, I'm now beginning to realize, no, I think it's time that we all take these steps. And, they even talk about on the website, they even say beyond the Lights Off event, this is Earth Hour is more than an event. It's a movement that has achieved massive environmental impact. And they talk about going beyond the hour. And I think that that's exactly what you're talking about, which is it starts this conversation that you did 1 hour, but then that just opens up the door for the next day and the next day and the next day to keep making decisions and micro adjustments and changes and thinking about what it means to do something like that, So I think that it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time that we live in because there are so many people that have platforms and are starting to talk about it. And I just thought it was incredibly cool.
Yeah.
I just thought, they have, by the way, you could go and you could look at the It's earthhour.org is the site. And, of course, if you look up the WWF, make sure you're looking up the right one.
Not the WWE.
Did they change it?
They changed it. Yeah, they changed the WWE. And Pan Express now has a taco on their logo.
Really? Wow, that's a bold marketing move for Pan Express.
Yeah.
But there was another part of this that it was this, connect to Earth is a huge part of their slogan. And that's connect the number to Earth. And that's kind of like, if you look on the social medias for the hashtags of the Connect to Earth, that's a big part of the campaign. And, they have a lot of ways. If you go visit the site, they have some really cool videos that are, inspiring music.
Is that like the video that you were saying we should play in the podcast? And
Yes.
I was like, no, Jacob, we're not playing someone else's video on the podcast.
That's exactly right before we started recording. I told Noel, I was like, hey, there's this cool video. It's got like inspirational music behind it. And they're saying all these cool phrases. And I show it to Noel and I'm like, and we'll play it on the podcast, but not the whole thing, but maybe like 30, 45 seconds. And Noel's like, no. No, we're not gonna do a podcast where we're watching somebody else make a cool video and be like, that was a really cool video. So he was probably right, but I was thinking to myself that you guys might want to hear like the audio and the info, but you get it.
But you should go.
Go check it out.
Go like he's told you where to go, so go there.
It's right there on the page.
Take a look at it. To watch the video. Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
He is.
I mean, that's...
As soon as he started speaking, I was like, yes.
I was like, I'm in.
Go on.
You're dreamy.
So dreamy.
You're dreamy and you're smart and you care about the world.
We got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you text him?
I'll just drop a line. I'll just be like, yo, Leo.
The caps. What's happening?
Nardo, give us a little squeak back.
Leo. So you should go check out the video. And so I didn't want to play it on the podcast, but it is inspirational. It's very exciting because there's all these shots of people around the world celebrating and dancing and just all these things that people are rallying together. And I mean, that just that excites me.
It's awesome. No, it is. This whole event excited me a lot more than I expected it to.
Yeah.
And it was a ton more. It was just more inspiring than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I think it's more like the kids enjoyed it a lot more than I thought they would.
Absolutely.
Like it's a thing.
It's a thing.
If you make it a thing, then it's a thing. And I feel like we should do that with the rest of them too. Right?
I agree.
When Arbor Day comes and everything.
I think all of these holidays.
And now that we're getting better at this, maybe we'll do before. Yeah. We'll do the podcast before we go.
Yeah.
So that we can prep everybody on what they're supposed to do.
I know.
That's the place we blew it on this one.
I know. But you know what? It's not, we're just getting started. Yeah. We've just started the show, and then this amazing holiday came, and we didn't have a chance to really promote, but we're ready for next year.
I mean, Tara was all over with the magazine, but we're just trying to catch up with that chick.
Catch up, guys.
She's on it.
Rocking it. We're just learning as we go.
We're just trying to figure this out. We're just trying to make a, we're just a couple squirrels.
trying to get a nut. So we will, from now on, we're going to try to make sure we have the podcast address these big, anchored holidays about Earth and sustainability and saving the planet so that we can really help spread the word.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to have people who organized and created events like these on. And then I think even a goal for us, we're going to come up with one. I believe it.
We're going to make our own.
I believe that we're going to come up with something that we start this year, maybe.
Yeah.
That we build some excitement around, and so that someday somebody's reading on a sheet. They're going like back in 2019.
Back in the old days.
These two dudes from the Biofriendly podcast created
the single most amazing environmental holiday that has ever been created. Of all time.
You guys are beginning to figure out that me and Noel like to believe that we're just so powerful in this space, and then we're going to make all the changes. But I think you have to think that a little bit.
Hey, look, I think you make small changes, but you dream of the big ones.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm a dreamer, baby.
Yeah.
Always a dreamer.
Yeah. So we'll just dream for the big ones.
I'm dreaming right now.
Yeah? What's happening in your dream? I had a dream.
Weird stuff.
I had a dream yesterday that I did a heart transplant.
What?
Yeah.
There's got to be meaning behind that.
There has to be, right? One of my friends, Brian, of course it was Brian.
Yeah.
You know Brian.
Yeah, probably did it with his bare hands.
Well, that's exactly what it was. He had to take his heart out himself in order to do something that had to be done. And of course, in my dream, it made sense.
Oh my God.
And then he's done. And he's like, I'm tired. I need someone to put this back in. And I'm there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put your heart back, and I'm ripping open his chest, and I'm putting it in. I'm sewing things back. The whole thing was so vivid. I was vividly putting a heart, and then I shocked it, and it went. And he's like, "Oh, thanks, bro."
I think I know what it is.
What is it?
I know what it is. Yeah. We had just had this Earth Hour thing happen.
Yeah.
We powered down the lights in the world for an hour, and then we brought it back up again. I think
it's totally representative.
I think you got powered down and then got brought back to life, and that's how we are, because we're linked in, right?
That's saving.
We're connected.
You know what it is? It is. It is. It doesn't matter how impossible it seems. You can do it.
Yeah,
man,
you can do it.
You can get that heart
right now. I want to put in some nice like kind of like hippy dippy sitar music. Like, hey man, your heart and the universe and the planet are all one and the same. And like, Earth Hour was about you. It's about you.
My sitar was beautiful, right?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. That was a real sitar that you just brought out.
I was not in my mouth. I was playing.
Yeah.
The sitar that I had sitting here. Ready to go.
They used to call Noel Sitar Mouth back in his teen days.
Yeah.
Sitar Mouth, get over here. Get over here and spin us a tune.
Spin us a tune. And I did.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, pal.
Yeah.
I think we did Earth Hour, didn't we?
I think we did Earth Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we did, I guess, I got an idea before we go.
Okay.
What are fun things that can be done in the dark?
Oh, that's...
Right?
Oh.
Like to inspire for next
year
Earth Hour.
That people can do.
We already know that we went up and we can look out at the stars and we can, like stargaze. That's one. But what are other things you have no lights on? What are some fun things you can do?
Well, I mean, to steal from last night, right? You go on the hike, you go on the trail.
Yeah.
And then you walk in the moonlight.
Yep.
And you get to do that at nighttime.
And you can bring a flashlight. We're not against flashlights.
Yeah,
I think if you're walking in a trail with children, especially at night, do a flashlight. That's fine. We're not saying you have to power down all light sources.
Or bring a like an old fashioned torch.
Oh yeah, if you
like
can.
If you could just get a caveman log.
No, I want a lantern. I want a lantern so you can be like
that's a kerosene powered
lantern. Follow
lantern.
me this way into the wilderness with this lantern.
See, I was thinking like a caveman club on fire, like they have in the caves.
You do you. I'll do me. You take your family and show them hieroglyphics with your torch.
With my caveman torch.
And I will do the old prospector in the Wild West movies. And be like, right this way. The mines.
We got to do that next year. Because
watch out for the mines.
That's part of what makes it beautiful. That's part of the tradition. See, right there. So that's something else you can do in the dark.
You just came up with two things. Cosplay.
Cosplay. You can do cosplay in the dark.
Absolutely can. In fact, it's the best cosplay in the dark.
Yeah.
So what are some other things?
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek. That's a great one.
Right? That's best in the dark.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a kid and we had power outages in my home.
Yeah.
We used to sit around and play cards.
Yeah.
So we'd get some candles and we'd play like Uno or Go Fish. We'd sit around and play cards. So that's a thing you could do.
Well, that would be a fun thing to do one of these years for one of our Earth Hours. Is to just power off the house.
Yeah.
Light up a bunch of candles. And then play board games and just hang out in the space.
Yeah, and then, what are some any other?
Yeah, well, there's things that the young, of course, married 20-somethings like to do.
Yeah,
when they're in the dark.
Right.
Of course, they're married, and it's only for procreative purposes.
Absolutely.
Otherwise,
yes,
you don't do such things.
Pre-children. This is when you have all the freedom and the time.
Yeah, we wouldn't know about that.
That's definitely something you could do. With no lights on.
Yeah.
For the full hour.
No,
if you're so inclined.
Look. You should.
Yeah.
It's the least you can do.
Look, you're in your 20s, maybe 30s.
Yeah,
you probably can.
You're a young buck, just got married. Come on.
Do it.
For goodness sakes.
For goodness sake. Do it for us. If nothing else.
Do it for the environment.
Yeah, do it for the planet. So that's another thing.
Darkness.
I thought you were about to say darts.
Darts.
I was like, I highly advise against that. You said darkness. I thought you were going to say darts. Okay, let's talk about the things you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
No darts.
You could have a sing along. Pull out the sitar. Do a little bit of night. Get
sitar
candlelight. Get the sitar going.
Good
and
thing I'm friends with you. I can just have you come on over and spin a tune for me on your sitar mouth.
I feel like there's endless things. If you just turn off the lights and you're in that situation, it's like, well, I got to do something. You know, and then off you go to the races. I don't know. I mean, we gotta come up with by next Earth Hour.
We gotta have.
We should have a list of the top 10 things to
do in the dark.
In the dark.
I love it.
For Earth Hour.
Love it.
Right?
Will do.
All right, I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, rock and roll, man.
Well, it was a blast this weekend, and next time we'll make sure we get this podcast out so you know in advance. But we highly recommend you participate in this great holiday around the world.
Yeah, and if we continue to miss them now and again, as we learn, let us know what we've missed so we can review it, and then we will review it, and we'll come back and say this is what it is. This is what we were supposed to be doing.
And we didn't do it.
And we didn't do it because we're terrible.
We're not.
But we're getting better.
We're learning.
And that's the point. We've all got to get better.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah. So now we're supposed to start signing off or something?
Yes. Before we go, I think it's a better idea that we maybe say something at the end, right? Like say something like, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Noel.
And the Biofriendly podcast is your beacon of light for a gloomy environment.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
A beacon of light or in a gloomy environment.
A beacon of light
in a gloomy environment.
In a gloomy environment.
It's the Biofriendly podcast. It's the Biofriendly podcast.